Alright, in the previous video, we learned how to draw the presentation drawing for your handphone holder. Right, okay, we transform this shape that you have into your handphone holder. Alright, in this video, I'm going to teach you how to draw exploded drawing. Now, exploded drawing basically shows the different parts of your handphone holder, right? You have what part? First part, the middle one, and the side, right? The two sides and the middle, how they are linked together. It shows you how the handphone holder is assembled. All right. Now, to do that, right? To do that, we need some knowledge about how to draw your presentation drawing, right? On one side. Now we're going to tear this apart. Now, what do I mean? All right. I have provided you with a template that looks like this, right? A template that looks like this. What this means is I want to draw, right, this part, the first part, the side down here, right? The other side, the left side, should be drawn here. And the piece that link the two together should be drawn at the center block, right? These blocks, right, the three blocks are there just to guide you, right? Just to guide you. All right. How to draw this thing? How to draw this on this block? I'm not going to go through again because we have gone through in the last video, right? If you still have problem, look at video 1. All right, look at video 1 and you revise. Okay, I'm going to show you, right? Basically what I meant was this: the sides, the two sides I will draw at the two blocks down here. Now what is left down here, right? What is left here is the center, right? I know there are different ways of joining, right? Depends on how you join the two blocks together. If you use two of this, then you draw the two, all right, the two sticks down here at this block. But exactly where do you draw it and how do you draw it? Now for example, for example, my first block, my first stick, if let's say I link it down here, right, it's a 1 cm by 1 cm. For example, if let's say it's here, all right, now I'm going to draw the stick not from here link all the way, but I'm going to draw it somewhere down here in the middle. Now, so where should I draw? All right, I have to project this thing to this block. Now, so I'm going to locate, probably I'm going to locate this point. All right, I'm going to locate this point. I'm going to project it downwards until it hit this line, right, the base. Okay, and I'm going to project it towards here until it hit this line down here. Okay, so I'm going to locate this point. I'm going to measure it is about 1.5 centimeters from the base, and when I measure here is also about 1.5 centimeters. All right, 1.5 centimeters from the side here. So I am going to measure, right, from the base. 1.5 centimeters is somewhere here, right? 1.5 centimeters is somewhere here. So I'm going to draw a line parallel to the base, all right, very lightly, and then because it is 1.5 centimeters away, right, from this line, right, from this line, I'm going to draw 1.5 centimeters. Okay, so I have located this point. All right, I have located this point, and I know that this thing is a 1 cm by 1 cm, for example, right? 1 cm by 1 cm, so I'm going to do 1 cm. Now anyway, this is not drawn to scale lah. So I'm just giving an example, right? If you want 1 cm, then you draw 1 cm, unless you draw it to scale. All right, so if I just take 1 cm by 1 cm, right, the thing should look something like that. All right, and I'm going to look at this block, this center block, right, is about 4 cm, right? down here is about 4 cm. You measure your template, right? You don't follow my video down here because the template I gave you, this thing may not be 4 cm, which means my stick is about 4 centimeters, right? So I'm going to draw 4 centimeters, right? I'm going to draw 4 centimeters along which line? I don't draw horizontal line. I'm not going to draw horizontal line. I'm going to draw it in parallel to the reference line down here, right? In parallel to this reference line, right? So roughly, to the best of my ability, is about this is already parallel, right? Parallel to this. So I'm going to draw 4 centimeters, right? Then from here I should have a vertical line down, and then this line should be parallel to this line. So parallel, roughly here I'm going to draw this. From here, right, this line must be parallel. I'm going to draw it, scratch the line very gently. Down here, this line should be what? Should be parallel to this line. Should be parallel to this line, right? Roughly there. So there goes my first link. All right. So if I have another link, right? Many of you put 2 links, right? 2, I believe. All right. If I have another link that is down here, all right, stick down here. So I'm going to project it, right? Somewhere you project it, right? And you measure. If we use the same method, I'm going to locate this point, right? I'm going to project one line such that it cuts this line down here, this vertical line down here. I'm going to project it upwards, right? Such that it touches the line on top. So I'm going to measure it roughly how, right? About, right? It's about 3.5 centimeters. Down here is about 1 centimeters away, right? 1 centimeter, so 3.5 centimeters from on top. So I'm going to measure 3.5 centimeters from on top. 1 centimeter away, so roughly here. So this point is this point. So if my stick, right, is linked that way, so I'm going to draw it, right, roughly. This line is not visible, so you, when you scratch the line, right, when you sketch the line, draw it very gently. Again, same thing. I'm going to draw it. I'm going to take the ruler. It has got to be parallel to the reference line, so about 4 centimeters, right? 4 centimeters. Go up about 1 centimeter, right? Right. I'm going to use freehand. 4 centimeters roughly, right? Parallel to this line. Roughly again parallel to this line, right? There you have, right? One thing I want you to do is I need you to darken, right? It should be darker than all the projection lines, right? So the next thing, once you are done, right, then you label the parts, right? This is the part 1, right? Because they are both the same, you can label them the first part, right, same number, right? Because these two are the same unless they are of different dimensions, right, or different material. Since they are same dimension and same material, I can put them part 2, or if you have, some of you have one part bigger than the other part, right, then you put part 2 and part 3, right? Part 2 and part 3, right? Maybe you can put part 3 if their dimensions are different. All right, then you filled up this part. All right, all the material is pine, right? Part 1, part 2, part 3, all the material down here is pine, right? That we use is pine. Dimension, right? Part 1, the description, you can call it the sides, right? The side holder or whatever. Part 2 and 3, just give it a name. All right, just give it a name. Dimension in mm, right? Dimension must be in mm. I want you to measure. You are asking for material to make your handphone holder. So what dimension, right? What is the dimension? this is the, let's say, right, let's say I take the height down here as the L, right? This one is the breadth, and and the thickness. So the dimension you put as L times T times the thickness. The thickness, let's take it as 10 mm, or I think it's 10 mm, right? 10. Now you do not need to write mm because it is understood that it will be mm, right? Is in mm. So for example, this is 10 mm. You go and measure and see how much you need. What is the length that you need? What is the length of the wood that you need? The breadth, the thickness is, just take it as 10 mm, all right? And then you just fill in L times T times B. Now don't give me L times T times B. You should be about maybe 150 times, I don't know what is this, but let me give an estimate. It's about 100 by 10, maybe something like that. All right. Number of means how many pieces do you need? You need 1 piece, 2 piece, so basically you put 2 lah. All right, so you put 2. Then for part 2, part 3, you go and fill up. All right, give it a name. It is also pine, right? Because you use the same pine. You use the same type of material. I said 10 by 10. Some of you may have different dimension, right? You go and measure your own, right? You fill in something that is feasible down here. How many pieces? 1 piece, 1 piece, right? Or if you have 2 pieces of the same dimension, basically you can just say 2. No need to fill in the 3, the dimension, but then number of, you have to say I need 2 pieces. Okay, complete this, do a good one, and submit by the end of the lesson.